Ladies, when a man feels safe with a woman, it's something you can sense in the way he acts, the way he talks, and even the way he looks at you. Ladies, you know life is too short to waste time trying to figure out whether a man is really with you or just passing through. A man who feels safe isn't just comfortable, he's willing to show you parts of himself most people never get to see. You see, men are like closed books sometimes. They guard their hearts, they guard their minds, and they guard their emotions because life has taught them to be cautious. But when a man feels safe, he lowers that guard. He doesn't hide who he is or what he's thinking, and he doesn't pretend to be something he's not. That's the difference between a man who's truly invested and a man who's just entertaining a moment. And I want to tell you, ladies, recognizing that difference can save you a lot of heartache, a lot of frustration, and a lot of wasted energy. The first thing you'll notice is how he opens up emotionally. Most men don't just talk about their feelings unless they feel completely secure. They'll give you the superficial version of themselves at first. They'll talk about work, sports, or everyday life, but the real man, the man who's letting you in, shares his dreams, his fears, and even the parts of himself that make him feel vulnerable. Emotional openness isn't easy for men because society tells them to be strong, stoic, and in control. But when he feels safe with you, he begins to let down the walls. He may start small at first, dropping little hints about what bothers him, or he may share stories from his past that shaped him into who he is today. And when he does that, pay attention. That's a man who trusts you, and trust is the foundation of everything in a relationship. When he shares these things, it's his way of saying, I believe you can handle the real me, the messy parts, the parts I usually keep to myself. Another thing to look for is consistency in his actions. Ladies, you can't just listen to what a man says. You have to watch what he does. A man who feels safe doesn't give mixed signals. He shows up when he says he will. He calls when he promises he will. He follows through on his words, not just when it's convenient, but because he knows that showing up consistently is part of protecting the trust between you. You can see this in the little things. He remembers what you like. He checks in when he says he will, and he keeps his promises, even when no one else is watching. Safety isn't just about feeling comfortable. It's about knowing that he's not going to disappear or run at the first sign of difficulty. A man who feels safe is dependable, and that kind of reliability is rare, ladies. Most men aren't willing to be that consistent unless they feel secure and genuinely connected. You'll also notice the way he respects your space and your opinions. He doesn't try to control you, and he doesn't feel the need to dominate every conversation or every decision. Respect is a huge sign that he feels safe with you. He listens when you speak, even if he disagrees. He considers your perspective seriously because he knows that a healthy relationship isn't about who's right or wrong. It's about partnership and understanding. You'll see it in how he communicates with you. He may challenge your ideas sometimes, but he does it respectfully. He doesn't belittle you. He doesn't dismiss your feelings, and he doesn't try to force you into his way of thinking. That shows maturity and security, and it shows that he's not threatened by your individuality. A man who feels safe with you understands that a relationship isn't about power. It's about two people growing together while respecting each other's boundaries. In addition to respect, a man who feels safe includes you in his life. You don't have to wonder if he's hiding you from his friends or family. He brings you into the world he's built, and he wants you to be part of it. He introduces you proudly to his friends, shares stories about you with his family, and lets you in on the little routines of his life. Inclusion is a sign that he's proud of you and proud to have you by his side. It's not about showing off. It's about trusting that you belong there. A man who keeps you at a distance, who avoids letting you meet his people or see his daily life, may not feel safe enough to fully open up. But a man who brings you in, that's a man who trusts you and feels secure in your presence. He doesn't have to hide. He's confident in the connection he has with you, and he's willing to show it to the world. And finally, a man who feels safe encourages your growth. He doesn't feel threatened by your ambitions or your independence. In fact, he celebrates it. He knows that your success doesn't diminish him. It enhances the partnership. He cheers for you, supports your goals, and stands by you as you pursue your dreams. He knows that a relationship isn't about holding each other back or competing. It's about building each other up. Ladies, if you notice that he's genuinely happy for you when you accomplish something, when you take steps to improve yourself, or when you pursue your passions, that's a man who feels safe. He's confident in himself, confident in your connection, and confident that your growth only strengthens what you have together. Now, understanding these signs can change the way you view your relationships. It can help you recognize the men who are worth your time and emotional energy and separate them from the ones who are just there for convenience or temporary comfort. Emotional openness, consistency, respect, inclusion, and support for your growth are not things a man gives casually. They are signs of genuine security and trust. They are signs that he values you not just for what you do, but for who you are. Pay attention to his behavior over time. Don't be fooled by words alone, because words can be empty. Watch how he acts when no one else is around. Watch how he communicates with you when he doesn't need. And watch how he reacts when challenges come up. A man who feels safe won't crumble under pressure or disappear when things get hard. He'll stay, he'll communicate, and he'll work through it with you. That's the kind of man who's not just present, but invested. And remember, safety in a relationship is mutual. Just as he feels safe with you, you deserve to feel safe with him. Emotional security isn't one-sided. When both partners feel secure, it creates a bond that's unshakable. Ladies, never settle for a man who doesn't show these signs, because you're worth more than empty words, inconsistent actions, and half-hearted affection. Pay attention to the signs, honor the men who show them, and let go of the ones who don't. A man who feels safe with you will love freely without fear. He will share himself with honesty, act with consistency, respect your independence, include you in his world, and encourage your growth. These signs aren't just behaviors, they are reflections of his heart. And when you see them, cherish them. Because a man who feels safe is a man who is ready to build something real, something lasting, and something that honors both of you. Ladies, remember that recognizing these signs is not just about identifying a good man, it's about understanding what love and trust look like in action. Don't settle for anything less than the safety and respect you deserve. And when you find a man who embodies these qualities, hold on to him, nurture the connection, and watch as the relationship flourishes in ways you never imagined. Safety, respect, and support are the keys to a strong, meaningful bond. And when a man feels safe, he will show you the best of who he is, because he knows he can trust you with his heart, and that is priceless. Let me tell you something right now. A man who feels safe with you isn't just comfortable around you, he's a different man entirely. He doesn't have to put on a front, he doesn't have to pretend, and he doesn't have to be anything other than himself. You see, most men, they walk around with walls built high. Life has taught them to be cautious, to protect themselves, to hide what they're really thinking and feeling. But when a man feels safe, those walls come down, and you get to see the real him, the man underneath all the armor, the man who is willing to be vulnerable, to open his heart, and to trust. And if you can recognize those signs, you'll know that you've got someone who's truly invested in you, and not just in passing. One of the clearest signs a man feels safe with you is how he lets his guard down and shares his feelings. Ladies, I'm talking about more than just saying, I had a rough day at work. I'm talking about when he tells you about the things that scare him, the dreams he has but hasn't shared with anyone, and the insecurities he's never spoken out loud. A man who feels safe isn't embarrassed to show you his vulnerability. He trusts you enough to show you that part of him that most people never see. And that's powerful, ladies, because emotional vulnerability isn't something men hand out freely. Most of them hide it because they've learned the world can be cruel. But when he's with you, he lets you in. That is trust, plain and simple. And trust is the foundation of any strong relationship. Another thing you'll notice is how consistent he is in what he does. Words are easy, but actions reveal a man's heart. A man who feels safe doesn't disappear when things get a little tough. He doesn't make excuses, he doesn't ghost, and he doesn't leave you guessing about where he stands. If he says he's going to call, he calls. If he says he's going to show up, he shows up. You'll notice that his behavior matches his words, not just when it's convenient, but because he values your time and your trust. Consistency shows that he's reliable, that he respects the relationship, and that he feels secure enough to commit to it without reservation. Ladies, pay attention to consistency. That's where safety speaks the loudest. Respect is another big sign. A man who feels safe doesn't feel the need to control you. He doesn't try to dominate your decisions, belittle your thoughts, or silence your voice. Instead, he values your opinions and listens when you speak. Even if he disagrees with you, he does it respectfully without making you feel small or inferior. That's a man who feels secure. He's confident in himself and confident in your connection. He doesn't feel threatened by your independence or your perspective because he knows a relationship is about partnership, not power struggles. When a man respects you in every interaction, it's a clear sign he feels safe with you and trusts both you and the bond you share. You'll also see it in how he includes you in his life. This is a big one, ladies. A man who feels safe doesn't hide you from his world. He proudly introduces you to his friends, his family, and even in his daily routines. He wants you to be part of his life, not just a visitor. That inclusion is a sign of pride, trust, and confidence. He's not afraid that being close to you will expose him in some way. Instead, he's showing that he feels secure enough to let you in. If he avoids including you, if he keeps parts of his life hidden, that's a red flag. But when he shares his world with you willingly, it's because he feels safe and valued in your presence. And one more thing to notice is how he supports your growth and encourages your independence. A man who feels safe doesn't get jealous when you shine. He celebrates your wins, motivates you to achieve more, and stands by your side as you pursue your goals. He understands that your success doesn't take away from him. In fact, it strengthens the partnership. He's not threatened by your independence because he's secure enough in himself and in your connection to know that your growth enhances the relationship rather than weakens it. That support is more than just cheering you on. It's a reflection of his confidence and his commitment to building a strong bond with you. Ladies, the way a man behaves when he feels safe is subtle, but it's powerful. You'll notice it in small moments, the way he listens without interrupting, the way he remembers the things that matter to you, and the way he makes time for you even when life is hectic. He won't make promises he can't keep, and he won't use words to manipulate you. Instead, he'll act in ways that show he values and respects you. Safety is not about fear or control. It's about trust, respect, and genuine connection. When a man feels safe, he doesn't have to pretend to be something he's not, and that authenticity is a gift. Recognizing these signs can also help you protect your own heart. Ladies, you deserve a man who is consistent, respectful, and supportive. You deserve a man who includes you in his life and encourages your growth. You deserve someone who feels safe enough to be vulnerable with you, because vulnerability is the key to deep connection and real intimacy. Don't waste your energy on a man who doesn't show these signs. Life is too short to settle for anything less than someone who makes you feel valued and cherished. Pay attention to the actions, listen to the way he communicates, and observe how he behaves when no one else is watching. Those are the true indicators of whether he feels safe and secure with you. A man who feels safe will love freely. He won't hold back. He won't hide his feelings, and he won't play games. He will act with honesty, integrity, and respect because he knows he doesn't have to fear judgment from you. He will include you in his world, value your opinions, and encourage your dreams. And most importantly, he will be consistent. He will be reliable, present, and fully invested in building something real with you. That kind of man is rare, ladies, and when you recognize him, you need to hold on tight. It's also important to understand that safety in a relationship is mutual. Just as he should feel safe with you, you should feel safe with him. Emotional security, trust, and respect should flow both ways. When both partners feel secure, it creates a bond that is unshakable, a connection that can withstand challenges and grow stronger over time. Ladies, never settle for a relationship where you don't feel safe, where your voice isn't valued, or where your independence is discouraged. Recognizing the signs of a man who feels safe will help you invest your heart wisely and avoid the heartbreak that comes from being with someone who isn't ready to give their all. So watch closely for these behaviors in your man. Look for emotional openness, consistency, respect, inclusion, and support for your growth. Those are the pillars of a healthy, secure relationship. And when you see them, know that you found a man who is ready to be fully present, fully committed, and fully invested in building a future with you. A man who feels safe with you will not only treat you right, but he will make you feel valued, cherished, and loved in ways that go far beyond words. Ladies, understand this: love and trust are built through action. When a man shows you that he feels safe, He's demonstrating his commitment and investment every single day. That kind of man is worth recognizing, worth honoring, and worth keeping close. Emotional safety, consistency, respect, inclusion, and encouragement. These aren't just traits. They're the foundation of a relationship that can last a lifetime. Pay attention, observe closely, and value a man who treats you this way. Because when you find him, you've found someone who is ready to give his best, not just for himself, but for both of you. Let me tell you something. When a man feels safe with you, it's not just about comfort or ease. It's about trust, respect, and the ability to be fully himself without fear of judgment. You see, men don't always say what they're feeling out loud. Most of the time, they're holding back, keeping pieces of themselves hidden because the world has taught them to be cautious. Life has a way of shaping a man to be protective of his heart, to hide his vulnerabilities, and to walk carefully in relationships. But when a man feels safe with you, something incredible happens. He starts to open up, he starts to let you in, and you begin to see parts of him that few others ever get to see. And ladies, recognizing this is crucial because it shows you that he's not just playing around. He's genuinely invested in you. One of the clearest ways to know a man feels safe with you is in the way he shares his emotions. This isn't about the casual, "I had a tough day" conversation. I'm talking about when he starts to reveal the real stuff, the dreams he's been too afraid to chase, the fears that keep him up at night, the insecurities he hides from the world. That is powerful, ladies, because emotional vulnerability is not something most men give easily. They've been conditioned to appear strong, to stay in control, and to hide the softer parts of themselves. But when he feels safe, he will open up, even in small ways at first. Maybe he'll tell you a story from his past that shaped him, or maybe he'll share a personal challenge he's been struggling with. Whatever it is, pay attention. That is trust in action. That is a man saying, "I believe you can handle me, the good, the bad, and the messy parts of me too." And that, ladies, is priceless. Another way you can tell a man feels safe is by how consistent he is in his actions. Words can be empty, but actions speak louder than any speech ever could. A man who feels secure doesn't disappear when things get complicated. He doesn't leave you guessing or give you mixed signals. If he says he's going to call, he calls. If he says he's going to show up, he shows up. And he does it not just because it's convenient, but because he values your time, your trust, and the bond you share. Ladies, consistency is where safety shows itself most clearly. When you see a man acting reliably day in and day out, it's because he's comfortable in the relationship, he's confident in himself, and he's invested in you. That kind of behavior doesn't happen by accident. It comes from a place of genuine emotional security. Respect is another unmistakable sign that a man feels safe with you. A man who is secure doesn't feel the need to control you or dominate your decisions. He doesn't dismiss your feelings or talk down to you. Instead, he values your opinions, listens when you speak, and engages with you as an equal partner. Even when he disagrees, he communicates respectfully, without trying to tear you down or make you feel small. That is a man who feels secure because he's confident in himself and confident in the connection he shares with you. He doesn't fear your independence, your voice, or your choices. He knows a relationship is not about power. It's about partnership. When you see this level of respect consistently, you know that he feels safe and trusted in the relationship. In addition to respect, you'll notice a man who feels safe includes you in his life in meaningful ways. He doesn't hide you from his friends, family, or the important parts of his world. He proudly brings you and introduces you to the people he cares about and shares his life openly. Inclusion is a huge sign that he's proud to be with you and confident enough to let you see all sides of him. A man who keeps you at a distance may not feel safe, or he may not be ready for a serious connection. But a man who includes you, that is a man showing that he trusts you, values your presence, and feels secure enough to make you part of his world. Ladies, inclusion is more than just being seen in public. It's a sign that he's fully invested emotionally. Support for your growth is another key signal. A man who feels safe doesn't get jealous when you achieve success, when you grow in confidence, or when you pursue your dreams. He celebrates your wins and encourages you to reach higher. He knows that your success doesn't threaten him. It strengthens the relationship. He stands by your side, cheering you on, helping you when he can, and never holding you back. Ladies, a man who feels safe knows that a healthy relationship is built on mutual growth. not competition or control. When he celebrates your accomplishments and encourages your independence, he's showing not only that he's secure in himself, but also that he's committed to a partnership that can withstand anything. Now, let's talk about some of the subtler ways safety shows up in a man's behavior. You'll notice it in how he listens without interrupting, how he remembers the small details about your life, and how he makes time for you even when life gets busy. He doesn't make promises he can't keep, and he doesn't try to manipulate you with words. Instead, he acts with honesty, integrity, and respect. Safety is not about control or fear. It's about trust, reliability, and genuine connection. A man who feels safe will be consistent not only in his big gestures, but in the everyday moments, and those small moments add up to a deep, meaningful bond. Understanding these signs can help you protect your heart, ladies. You deserve a man who is consistent, respectful, supportive, and emotionally open. You deserve someone who includes you in his life and encourages your growth. You deserve a man who feels safe enough to be vulnerable with you, because that vulnerability is what allows intimacy and trust to grow. Don't waste your time on a man who doesn't show these signs. Life is too short to settle for anything less than someone who makes you feel valued, cherished, and secure. Watch how he behaves, especially when no one else is around, and observe the patterns over time. That's how you truly know if a man feels safe with you. When a man feels safe, he loves freely, he doesn't hold back. He doesn't hide his feelings, and he doesn't play games. He includes you in his life, values your opinions, and supports your ambitions. And most importantly, he is consistent. He is reliable, present, and fully invested in building something real with you. That is the kind of man who is rare, ladies, and when you recognize him, you need to hold on tight. It's also crucial to understand that safety in a relationship goes both ways. Just as he should feel safe with you, you should feel safe with him. Emotional security, trust, and respect should flow both ways. When both partners feel safe, the connection is unshakable, capable of enduring challenges and growing stronger over time. Don't settle for a man who makes you feel unsafe, unheard, or undervalued. Recognizing a man who feels safe with you allows you to invest your heart wisely and avoid unnecessary heartbreak. So, pay attention to these signs. Look for emotional openness, consistent actions, respect, inclusion, and encouragement for your growth. These behaviors are not just traits, they are reflections of a man's heart. A man who feels safe is willing to be fully present, fully committed, and fully invested. He treats you right, makes you feel valued, and demonstrates love in actions far beyond words. Ladies, love and trust are built through what people do, not just what they say. When a man shows you that he feels safe, he's demonstrating his commitment every day. That kind of man is worth recognizing, honoring, and keeping close. Emotional safety, consistency, respect, inclusion, and encouragement are the pillars of a relationship that can last a lifetime. Pay attention, observe carefully, and value a man who treats you this way, because when you find him, you found someone who is ready to give his best. Not just for himself, but for both of you. Let me talk to you about something that is so important in a relationship, but many women miss it. A man who feels safe with you isn't just comfortable. He's fully himself, without pretending, without hiding, without fear. You see, men are taught from the moment they can talk that they have to be strong, unshakable, in control. They've learned to protect their hearts, to hide their vulnerabilities, to walk through life carefully. But when a man feels safe, all of that changes. The walls come down, and you start seeing the man that most people never get to see. The real man, raw and open and willing to trust you with his heart. That is powerful, ladies, and recognizing it can make all the difference between being with someone who is just passing through and being with a man who is truly invested in you. One of the first things you notice is how he opens up emotionally. And I'm not talking about the small talk or casual conversations. I'm talking about the deep stuff, the things he's afraid to share with anyone else, the dreams he has, the fears that haunt him, the insecurities he's held onto for years. When a man feels safe with you, he starts to reveal those things. He may do it slowly at first, dropping little hints, telling you stories from his past, letting you in on what really keeps him up at night. That's trust, ladies. Emotional vulnerability is not something men give easily. Most of them guard their hearts, but when he shares with you, even in small ways, he's saying, I trust you. I believe you can handle all of me, the good, the bad, and the messy. And that, ladies, is worth noticing because very few people ever get that level of honesty and openness. Another thing you'll notice is consistency in his actions. Words can be cheap, ladies, but actions tell the truth. A man who feels safe doesn't disappear when things get tough. He doesn't ghost, he doesn't flake, and he doesn't leave you guessing. If he says he's going to call, he calls. If he says he's going to be there, he's there. And he does it not because he has to, but because he values you and respects the relationship. Consistency shows that he's secure, that he feels confident enough to commit without question. When you see this, you know it's not just a fleeting infatuation. That's a man who is comfortable in the relationship and willing to put in the effort every single day, not just when it's convenient. Respect is another unmistakable sign. A man who feels safe doesn't need to control you or dominate the relationship. He listens to your opinions, values your input, and treats your feelings with consideration. Even if he disagrees, he does so respectfully, without belittling or dismissing you. He doesn't feel threatened by your independence or your voice because he knows that a relationship is not about power. It's about partnership. Respect shows security. It shows that he feels safe with you and confident enough in himself to let you shine without fear. That is a man worth keeping, ladies, because respect is the foundation of every strong and lasting relationship. You'll also notice how he includes you in his life. He doesn't hide you or keep you separate from the important parts of his world. He proudly brings you to meet his friends and family. He talks about you, and he shares his daily life with you. Inclusion shows pride and confidence. It shows that he trusts you and values your presence. If he avoids letting you into these parts of his life, it could be a sign that he doesn't feel secure or ready for a real connection. But when he includes you, it's because he feels safe enough to make you part of his world. That is a man demonstrating that he sees a future with you and is willing to invest himself fully in the relationship. Support for your growth is another key indicator. A man who feels safe celebrates your achievements and encourages your ambitions. He knows that your success does not take away from him. It strengthens the relationship. He stands beside you as you pursue your goals, motivates you when you need encouragement, and never holds you back out of fear or insecurity. Ladies, a man who feels safe knows that the relationship thrives when both partners grow. He doesn't get jealous when you shine. He celebrates with you because he's confident in himself and in the bond you share. Support is a reflection of security, and it's a sign that he's invested not just in you, but in what the two of you can build together. There are also subtler ways safety shows itself. You'll notice how he listens without interrupting, how he remembers the little things about you, and how he makes time for you even when life is busy. He doesn't make promises he can't keep, and he doesn't manipulate with words. He acts with honesty and integrity because he knows that being consistent and trustworthy is more valuable than playing games or pretending. A man who feels safe is emotionally available in every way, not just in the big moments, but in the small, everyday moments that really matter. Understanding these signs helps you protect your heart. You deserve a man who is consistent, respectful, supportive, and emotionally open. You deserve someone who includes you in his life, celebrates your victories, and encourages your independence. Don't waste time on a man who doesn't show these signs. Life is too short to settle for less than someone who makes you feel cherished, valued, and secure. Observe carefully, watch how he behaves when no one else is around, and notice whether his words match his actions. That's how you truly know if he feels safe with you. A man who feels safe with you loves freely. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't play games or hide his feelings. He shares his life with you openly, values your input, and supports your goals. Most importantly, he is consistent. He shows up every day, not just when it's easy, but because he's invested in building something real with you. That is a rare kind of man, and when you recognize him, you need to cherish him. Safety in a relationship is mutual. Just as he should feel safe with you, you should feel safe with him. Emotional security, trust, and respect should flow both ways. When both partners feel safe, the bond is unshakable. It can withstand challenges and grow stronger over time. Never settle for someone who makes you feel unsafe, unheard, or undervalued. Recognizing a man who feels safe with you allows you to invest your heart wisely and avoid heartbreak that comes from being with someone who isn't ready to give his best. Pay attention to these behaviors: emotional openness, consistency, respect, inclusion, and support for your growth. These are not just traits, they are reflections of his heart. A man who feels safe is fully present, fully committed, and fully invested in making the relationship work. He treats you right, makes you feel valued, and demonstrates his love through actions, not just words. When you see this, know that you've found a man who is rare, someone ready to give his best, not just for himself, but for both of you. Ladies, love and trust are built through action, not just words. When a man shows you he feels safe, he demonstrates his commitment every day in big and small ways. That kind of man is worth recognizing, honoring, and keeping close. Emotional safety, consistency, respect, inclusion, and encouragement are the pillars of a relationship that can last a lifetime. Observe carefully, pay attention to the signs, and value a man who treats you this way. When you find him, you've found someone ready to give his best heart, his best effort, and his best love to you.